Hey, it's Ashley, and we're here at the Do-It-Yourself segment of EBTV. Today I'm so excited because I know personally I've always wanted a beachy curl, but I don't know how to do it. I've tried with flat irons, I've tried with curling irons. I don't know if you guys have ran into the same problem, but I have some great news for you. Today we have Malia here with us from Breon's Hair Salon, and she's going to be showing us how to do a beachy wave on EBTV's Rachel. So welcome, Malia. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so first of all, let's talk about the tools. Do we need flat irons? Do we need curling irons? What's best?
For this look, we're going to do a curling iron.
Okay.
Just using the barrel and kind of working with that.
Okay, I see we have a couple different sizes here. We have, this one is a little larger, that one's a little smaller. How do we determine what size works best? Is it length or?
Depending on the length of the hair. With her hair, she's got it just a little bit past collarbone, so we're gonna go with the smaller one.
Okay.
If we were using, say, my length or longer, we would go with a bigger.
Okay, and is there any time where we can do both? Would that be a benefit?
It could be, if you wanted a little bit of a looser curl, or kind of just to put some bump in there, we would go with this one.
Okay.
So.
Well, I see we've kind of already started on Rachel. That way you all have a finished product to look at the end. So if you want to continue on, and we'll keep doing Rachel's hair from now on, and then we'll talk about the products that you use. I see we have a whole bunch of different stuff here. Do you use hairspray primarily for this?
Finishing it off with hairspray. One of the most important things with curling your hair is using a heat protectant. Okay. The one we're using today has a little bit of hold as well as protection. Okay. So you'll get both of them out of that. Okay, awesome. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna keep going here on Rachel's hair, and we're gonna kind of talk you guys along the process of the curl and what Malia's doing. I can see right now she's doing some sectioning, and I know that's always a challenge for me. So when you're sectioning, Malia, what kind of sections are you taking?
Well, the good thing about this is you can really just do it with big sections. Okay. Starting out, if you're doing it at home, just kind of splitting your hair and taking it both to the front. Okay. And then sectioning it off into a little bit of thicker sections, which is going to take time down and give you that more natural wave.
Okay. And speaking of time, now I know a lot of the girls watching the show, and even us, we have to get up in the morning and go to work. Yes. So is this something that we can do in the morning?
This is. The good thing about this is with the bigger sections, it's going to take down the time. Okay. So I would say about 15 to 20 minutes extra in your morning.
That's doable. Yeah. And then at night, is this something we can sleep on and freshen up in the morning, or do we need to kind of wash our hair and redo it?
I would say, depending on your hair texture, it would be something you could touch up in the morning. It wouldn't be
That's good. That's good news.
Yeah. It wouldn't hold quite as much, but something you can just pinpoint curls and just put them back in.
Okay. And as you're doing the curls, are you doing them do we go away from the face, or do we go in towards the face?
Everything away from the face. Okay. That way you get that look, and it kind of frames your face opposed to covering it up.
Okay, so I know for me sometimes you did point out where you guys took two sections. For me, I think I normally do this side, and then the back, and I never know which way to do the back. So that would kind of eliminate that, because you only have the two sections and you just go back on both of them. Right. Awesome, okay. I know bangs are kind of in style. Obviously, Rachel and I both have bangs right now. What do you do? How do you make this look work with bangs without it just looking like we have something straight across our head and then curls everywhere else?
I think keeping volume in the bangs, kind of like what you have, is good, and working with the pieces that frame, we're still going to keep those curled, and that way it just kind of balances off each other.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great question, because I had wondered that as well with these little pieces, if we curl them or not.
Right.
Yeah. And what I'm doing with these now is keeping them out, and I'm going to go towards them at the end. That way we can start a little bit higher. Okay. And it'll kind of go in with the hair, the rest of the hair.
So what about curling iron safety? I know that I've had times when I've been in a rush before school or even work or going to hang out with friends, and I've burnt my forehead or my neck, and that's totally not cute, and I'll try to cover it up with makeup, but it's still there. What do you have, like, any suggestions for that?
I think we all have done that, even me. So something I would suggest, even when I learn a new curl technique, I always practice it with the curling iron off first. Okay. That way I can kind of get used to what I'm doing and just make sure no burning happens while learning a new technique. And then once I feel comfortable, I'll move on and turn it on.
Okay, awesome. So. And something else I'm noticing that you're doing is after you curl it, are you scrunching it with your hands and spraying it? Is that kind of, what does that do?
What it does is holds the heat in and kind of lets the curl cool in its pattern before letting it go and loosening it.
Okay.
So by holding it in your hand, you're gonna let it cool and it's gonna memorize that pattern more.
Okay.
And it'll hold longer.
Awesome. Okay, well right now we're gonna go ahead and let Malia finish up doing Rachel's hair. We only have a couple minutes left here. If there's any questions that you girls have regarding Beachy Waves or any other hair or makeup questions, just send them in to us. You can find all of our emails and all of our contact information at everythingbeautifultv.com. I don't know about you, but I always have lots of questions when it comes to this stuff, and we're really excited that Breon's Hair Salon here in Nashville has really come alongside with us to give us all of these amazing tips, and I'm sure that they would be happy to help us answer all of your questions. So as we're just finishing up these last couple curls here, this is the heat spray. Okay, so we're spraying the heat spray on first before you do the curls, and then we're doing the hairspray after.
Correct.
Correct. Awesome. All right. One tip that we had talked about before is you might not want to try this technique on a work day. Maybe try this on a weekend or a weekday when you guys don't have anywhere to be. So that way if you mess it up, it's okay. You can just put your hair up in a ponytail and try again the next day. That looks so cute, Rachel.
I'm really excited to see it.
Well, we have this little mirror that you can look at.
This very cute little mirror. And you know, as I look at this, I can think when I curl my own hair, sometimes I've been tempted to brush it out just because I felt like it was too tight. Should I do that, Malia?
No. It's always good. What I'm doing now is keeping it a little tight, but to loosen it at the end, I'm gonna spray you. That way the curl's still memorized, and kind of just break it up with your hands.
Okay.
That way you're not brushing any of the pattern out, you're just taking that tightness out.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. And also, when we are curling our hair, how many seconds should we hold the curler in our hair so we don't burn off a piece of our beautiful hair?
I would probably count to anywhere between 3 and 5. Also, the heat protectant, back to that, is very important because regardless of how long, you're putting a lot of heat on your hair. So keeping it in your head and in good shape, definitely.
Yeah, and that's a great tip because I usually skip out on the thermal protectant even when I flat iron my hair. Is that important then too?
It is. Always, always, always use a heat protectant.
And this one maybe last question here. I know we have to wrap up. Is this work for straight and curly hair? Can either do this?
Yes, because with straight hair, you're kind of putting that movement in your hair. And curly, it's good because it can kind of give your curl a little bit more shape and definition and just work with your natural curl.
Awesome. Well, we want to thank you so much again for coming. Thank you, Rachel, for being our lovely hair model.
It's been so fun.
We've had a great time. We hope you guys all learned, got some great tips from Malia here. And like I said, visit our website if you have any more questions. We will see you back in just a minute.